Hello and welcome to December. I cannot believe that we're already sitting on the 3rd of December. Time flies so much. Now, last week we spoke about the concept of the Traffic University, which helps you to leverage those unproductive times to help you to learn, to grow, and to be refreshed. And as promised, today we are going to be getting down and dirty in terms of a few podcasts that I love to listen to at UPvisor. Because maybe you're not quite sure what type of podcasts or audiobooks you should be listening to, but it's also not a should, right? But yeah, I really just wanted to share about what the things are that I've been listening to and that I've really been able to find a lot of benefit out of. So they're not necessarily the most highly ranked podcasts, and I'm sure that if you go Google best podcasts for entrepreneurs, you will not necessarily find the ones that I'm going to be sharing with you today. But as I say, these are the ones that have really encouraged me and inspired me, especially during lockdown, which has been really tough. So I'm going to start off with 2 about leadership. There will be 1 about productivity, and then there will be 2 or 3 others that I mentioned. So firstly, if we think about leadership, if you have ever looked in the leadership space, then John Maxwell would have been someone that has stood out to you. So he has a podcast, obviously, because John Maxwell is just that awesome. And the normal format that you would expect here is where they would play a section out of one of John's previous seminars or talks, and then the 2 hosts will start to unpack the content and help you to apply it in everyday life or even in your business. And every now and then, what I find really cool is that they have some candid conversations with John, and it's just unscripted, and you just get to really hear about his heart and what the experience has been over time. And I've also seen that they, from time to time, they'll have a few interviews. I've seen people like Andy Stanley, Patrick Lencioni, and even Simon Sinek that they've been chatting to. So you're really getting top-notch leadership content coming through here. The episodes average around 30 minutes each and are released roughly on a weekly basis. And what I really like about some of his stuff as well is that it comes with a bonus resource that helps you to apply these learnings. And when I get to my second podcast, I will also mention something similar. They have been running since about April 2018, so there are a lot of episodes. I saw within their list that has that I was just scrolling through, they have more than 100 episodes. So you definitely cannot go wrong with accessing their great content. So I will share the link in the comments below. So that's the first one. The second one is also a leadership podcast. And here we have Craig Groeschel's leadership podcast. And his tagline is that people will rather follow leaders who are always real than leaders who are always right. And I love this. I think it's so important for us to be authentic and to be bringing our whole self to our team and to the people that we lead, whether it's at home or at work, it doesn't matter. It's not about always being right. It's about being real and true to who you are. So he provides some really great content. He is the leader of the Global Leadership Network, and he comes at you normally once, but sometimes twice a month with a bonus session, which is awesome. And really, it's really Craig chatting through some really great insights in a very practical manner. Every now and then there are some interviewees that come up, but the great part is the leader guide that comes along with this. And the idea is for you to take this content, take it to your team, discuss it, take some action steps out of it. And because it's only happening once a month, it really gives you some time to really put those things into practice. I find these podcasts are relatively short, to the point, but specifically highly actionable. And as entrepreneurs, that's what we need. We need something that we can take action on. They are currently on their 83rd podcast, and they've just done a 2020 in review. And that will be a really great one for you to check out to see what type of content he's sharing, because they've pulled some really key features or really key concepts coming through during 2020 as part of that podcast. So you can go binge listen to that one. Then the third one that I want to mention today is a productivity podcast. And seeing as we're talking about hashtag productivity today, we have to talk about productivity. And the one that I want to mention here, and this one has been in my ears a lot the last few weeks, it's called Focus on This. And they call themselves the most productive podcast on the internet. And I love it. It's part of the Michael Hyatt team that start talking about the full focus system. Because as you might have heard me mention before, they talk about things like the quarterly review, making sure you've got your goals in place, and actually just like basic to-dos, all of those things they talk about. And they're trying to make Mondays more fun. because I think a lot of us dread Mondays, but the whole idea is to try and figure out how we can make sure that we are hitting those goals that we have during the course of the year. Now, what I like about this is that it takes this whole full focus system, which is not just a diary or a planner, but it really is a system that is built up around that. So it takes all of the concepts that they've got as part of the full focus system, and it talks you through them. I really like it. They've got some fun, quirky conversations between the three hosts, and really just a lot of fun to listen to. I love it. So it's currently, the average running time is about 30 minutes. It comes at you every Monday, and they have 63 episodes that you can go and enjoy. I love this one. Okay, then 2 other podcasts that I just want to mention that are noteworthy is firstly, startup podcasts. So when we are figuring out what we need to do in our business, we sometimes need a little bit of input, right? So there is a podcast by called The Startup School by Y Combinator, and you might have heard of Y Combinator before. They are an accelerator / incubation program, and they have specific training courses that you can go check out. Now, they have the videos on their website, but I love being able to access it in audio only version, which allows you to be able to listen to it at any point in time. You don't have to be in front of your computer. So the program is really great to go check out. So I will link in their website, and they allow you to be able to link in with other founders as well. And they've got weekly accountability calls, which are great. So definitely go check that one out if you are still in the startup phase. Then number 5 that I want to mention are daily TED Talks. Now, I am sure that you are familiar with the concept of a TED Talk. So it's all about technology, education, and design. And they are great for us to stay in touch with what is happening in our industry, see what the trends are, see what's happening in technology, and how they are potentially going to disrupt your industry. And it's awesome to be able to identify who the thought leaders are within your scope that you potentially need to be watching out for and potentially following. Because the whole idea here is to identify the concepts that are going to impact on your business and find new ways to address that. Okay. You don't want to be left behind. And if you are wondering about this whole concept of disruption and technology and all of those things, make sure that you're checking out the interviews that we've been doing with Mark Taylor, the MD of Tamami, 2 weeks ago. And then there will be part 2 this week and part 3 next week. We were really talking all about 4 hours. So do check those out. And plus, TED Talks also sometimes have a few random concepts as well. So definitely go check those out. They're great for personal development. Okay, so 5 podcasts for you. As I said, maybe not the top rated on the internet. If you had to go Google, you might find something like Tim Ferriss's podcast, and there are a whole bunch of others that you can look out for. But the bottom line is you need to find the ones that work for you, as we always say, and figure out which ones are really applicable to where you are at in your life cycle of being an entrepreneur or being an employee. Okay, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so I hope that that's been helpful for you to just start thinking a little bit outside of the box and start finding ways to change those unproductive pockets of time into something that is helping you to learn, to grow, and to be refreshed. Okay, so next week we are chatting to the Blue Ninjas again, and we are talking about reporting tools and their issues, because there are sometimes really big issues with them. And I also wanted to just mention, if you are a solo entrepreneur and you're thinking about all of those corporate year-end functions that other people would have, but you're on your own and you just cannot have something on your own, then I would like to invite you to join us for a joint virtual year-end function. It's going to be so much fun. We will have trivia, we will have some a live chef doing a little demo, and it's going to be great. And you get a goodie bag, and there's some lucky draws, and awesome. I'm just super excited for it. So that is happening on the 15th of December. So do check out the ticket link will be in the comments below. And I think that is everything for today. So I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Have a lovely, productive day. Bye.